Right, welcome ladies and gents. We're here to talk about hydrogen cars. Yes! The future is electric? Maybe not. Or at least a hydrogen fuel cell, potentially. We're seeing a massive shift in the industry. So BMW's gone all in on hydrogen, Honda's gone all on in hydrogen, and Toyota's long been in the game for hydrogen cars, actually. This isn't massively new. I do think Hyundai has done it as well, because they had the Ioniq concept car, didn't they? That is a hydrogen fuel cell, if I remember correctly. But Toyota was out with this a while back with the Mirai, and they've doubled down on it. And so has loads of other companies. So I did a video before about EVs and things like that. And now I just want to take a look at hydrogen cars and just let you know the current state of affairs. Because obviously a lot of petrol heads, they want their ICE internal combustion engines to continue, and they don't want EVs to replace them. I get that. I understand that. I'm a petrol head. Obviously, you guys have watched the channel. But yeah, this stuff is interesting. It's interesting to look at where the industry starts to go. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. When it comes to EVs, you've got to look at how they're manufactured, where it all comes from, and look at the alternatives. So Porsche has created a synthetic fuel which is perfectly emissions free, fully zero carbon neutral, etc. And no one's investing in it. And you'd think if this was the aim, the end goal, right, rather than just cash flow, you would invest in something like that, because that's a great fuel source. But I do hazard a guess that potentially a lot of stuff, it's all a grift. But anyway, I've spoken enough. Let's have a look at some of these things. So Honda doubles down on hydrogen with new fuel cell powered SUV. So the 2025 Honda CR-V EFCEV. Jesus, what a crappy name. Maybe a mouthful, but it runs on the most abundant element in the universe. Good luck finding a fuel station. That's the issue. That has been the issue with, well, it's an issue with EVs. It's an issue with hydrogen, and what Toyota had suffered with the Mirai is not having the ability to actually fill them up. But when more people invest, then they'll become more apparent, more obvious. So Honda announced a new hydrogen fuel cell powered vehicle for the US market, in a sign that the automaker has not given up on the most abundant element in the universe for its vehicle lineup. And this is a move by a lot of these companies. Toyota, they never lost sight of the internal combustion engine. I think they firmly have the idea that hybrids will take over rather than just electric vehicles. So the 2025 Honda CR-V EFCEV may not roll off the tongue easily, but Honda insists it can find a fan base, especially as hybrid powertrains are proving to be more popular with US car buyers than pure battery. And I also think that's the same in the UK. I'd have to look at the numbers. So the fuel cell electric vehicle will have an EPA rated range of 270 miles, which includes 29 miles of all electric driving. That's not bad, you know. That's pretty good if you can fill it up. So the CR-V EFCEV is a compact crossover SUV using fuel cell modules produced by Honda and GM. So yeah, it's a fuel cell system manufacturing joint venture basically with GM in Michigan. It'll be available for leasing in California later this year, but pricing details were not immediately available. So this is the interesting stuff, right? The fuel cell modules put out an estimated 92.2 kilowatts of power with 174 horsepower and 229 pound-feet of torque. Respectable numbers. I think that's fine. And I said this in my video about the electric cars, is that make no mistake, when everything's electric, just wait. There will be significantly more accidents because it's so much power on tap instantly. Whereas if you just pass your test now, you can't afford an electric car. And you can't afford something which is massively quick off the line. It doesn't even matter if it's top-end power that these electric cars have, like overall figures. It's the fact that it's instant torque. It can be dangerous when you're just learning to drive or just pass your test. And I think that would lead to a lot of injuries. But basically it says it can be recharged through a normal wall outlet because the battery has the energy of 17.7 kilowatts. So that can be charged as a normal outlet. And the FCEV will have a bi-directional charging capabilities, delivering a modest 1.5 kilowatts of power for small home appliances or camping equipment. So it's pretty savvy, this thing, to be fair. It's not too bad. I don't want to get too into this model, but it's more about the hydrogen thing. So the FCEV will come standard with Honda Link, the company's connected app, which includes hydrogen fueling station information. Locating a refueling station will be one of the main challenges for anyone interested in owning one, because there are only 55 hydrogen stations in California. Right, so that's an issue, and this is the problem with these things. But I think it will roll out. I think it will. Hydrogen fuel cells use compressed hydrogen as their fuel, releasing water vapor as its only emissions. A number of automakers have recently seized on to the technology, and this is what I'm talking about. So BMW says goodbye to electric cars. It has now solved the problem of hydrogen engines. Now, it's important to note, look, this is hydrogen central, so this is definitely a biased source, of course. But it's still interesting, and BMW is still making strides in this part. So BMW says goodbye to electric cars. It has now solved the problem of hydrogen engines. So it seems like hydrogen engines could be the next big thing, which is what I've been saying, or at least alternative stuff. So electric vehicles have been in the spotlight for zero emission efforts. Hydrogen-powered cars have been in the shadows. Electric vehicle companies aim to dominate the market by 2030, but hydrogen engines are grabbing a share now. There's also an ammonia engine, if I remember rightly, which is weird. So hydrogen cars are similar to EVs, but come with a cool feature called a hydrogen fuel cell, which releases only water vapor, and this gives them a decisive edge in the competition for the most eco-friendly ride, which is true. So far, the United States has seen about 2.5 million EVs hit the road. As of mid-2022, though, only 15,000 hydrogen cars were cruising around, and they're all in California, which makes sense. So what's the issue? Well, BMW are planning to roll out hydrogen-powered cars by 2025, so very, very soon. So in the coming era of transport, the focus will be on fast performance, quick refueling, eco-friendly options. Hydrogen engines are emerging as a potential game changer in this industry. So there's a handful of manufacturers which are actively developing the technology to lead the way in hydrogen-powered cars. BMW is among them, so is Toyota. So according to BMW CEO Oliver Zips, hydrogen engines are set to play a significant role in the various parts of the world in the long term, which is what I think this, I've been saying this. A hydrogen fuel cell vehicle, an HFCV, operates with a motor similar to a battery electric vehicle, but uses a stack of fuel cells instead of a heavy battery. Blah, blah, blah. Don't want to get too into that, how it works. But here's what's happening. So BMW iX Hydrogen, that's being rolled out. 400 horsepower. Refueling count minimal, 5th generation fuel cell technology, electric motor, top speed 115, 0 to 60 in 6 seconds. So still really fast, but not that, neck breaking speeds of like 3 seconds, which is pretty insane. 400 volt battery above hydrogen engines. Range, pretty good, 313 miles. That's pretty bloody good, actually. Now it says this, even though the number of electric cars has rapidly risen in the past 3 years, the International Energy Agency predicts that only 14% of vehicles will be electric by 2022. Furthermore, this figure is anticipated to increase by another 4% at the end of 2023. So there's a big chance for hydrogen cars to grab a share of the market, which I think was probably going to happen. And that's also what Toyota thinks. Because Toyota wants hydrogen to succeed so bad, it is practically paying people to buy the Mirai. Which is crazy. So you can get 40 grand off a Toyota Mirai. What? That's a hydrogen fuel cell vehicle. Retails for 66 grand when you factor in 15 grand in free hydrogen over 6 years and the available zero interest loan. So it'll just cost you 11 grand dollars. That's insane. That is how much it cost Toyota to make the vehicle's fuel cell stack alone, according to the most recent estimate. You buy the fuel cell, Toyota pays for the rest of the car. That is crazy. But the problem is, can't find hydrogen. Understand that. But they're clearly going to start rolling this out with other manufacturers getting in on it. That's insane. Isn't it? That is absolutely insane. So there you go. A little walk through technology's lane and the hydrogen fuel cell. What do you think, fellow petrol heads? Let me know down below. Got some videos coming on cars. I do apologise that we're not doing anything. Sorry I didn't upload at the weekend. But we do have some videos coming on cars. And I will make some more chit-chat videos such as this. Because I think these are interesting. And, it's keeping you up to date on where the industry is going. Or at least from... And I am biased. Of course I am. I'm running a channel. I can be as biased as I like. But it's still keeping you up to date on some elements. And if you're like me and you like the things that I like, then you'll be interested in the way hydrogen fuel cells are moving forwards. So anyway, cheers guys. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.